Sean here from Somm Wine Club, and I have got Somm wine for you. This is the 2023 Natte Axle Chenin Blanc from Darling in the Western Cape of South Africa, part of the August 2024 Somm Wine Club box. Now, I have featured a wine from Natte before, winemaker Alex Milner, who started the Cinsault Collective. I featured his Simonsburg Parle Cinsault a couple of years ago. This is a wine that I have kind of always had on the back burner of wanting to share with everybody, not least of all because I'm a huge fan of Alex and their family and the wines that he produces and this region and these grape varieties, but also because it's bloody good. And I just needed to find the right time, and the 2023 vintage arrived a month ago, and I jumped. I was like, okay, well, that's my sign. We're going to put the Axle Chenin Blanc in a box so that I can share this with everybody. Now, Alex is a Cinsault crazed winemaker, evidenced by his numerous different labels of Cinsault and his effort in trying to revitalize old bushvine Cinsault across the Western Cape. But his wife is a big Chenin Blanc fan, so he made this wine for her, which I just think is great. I think that's like just a super lovely thing to do as a family. It's like, oh, you like this? I'm going to make something for you. The first vintage is 2018, and the importer, who is a friend of mine, Peter Marshall from Surly, who actually features prominently in this month's Wine Club box with 2 wines, grabbed 25 cases of this wine just on what he said was a whim. Hadn't been made before, but was a fan of everything that Alex was doing, so little did he know that Alex only made 100 cases. So a quarter of that first vintage came to BC. And then for a couple of years after that, with Peter kind of bugging Alex to get more and more and like hoping that we can make a little bit more so that we can supply a few more people, because obviously this wine has developed a little bit of a following here and internationally. And it was 10 cases here, 15 cases, 10 cases here. So he didn't really deviate too much from that 100 case production until a couple of years ago, I guess. And so now he was able to get 35 cases for BC for this vintage. So a little bit more to go around, but still not very much, and it goes real quick. So like I said, I was really happy to be able to snap this up and put it into the box. The Axle is made from a single vineyard of basically designated heritage vineyard, dry farmed bush vine Chenin Blanc. It actually has the little certified heritage vineyard sticker on the neck, because there is an actual legal program in South Africa for classifying these vineyards that are older than 35 years and making sure that they are registered and tracked. This one was planted in 1985, and is, like I said, all decomposed, really poor soils, these tiny little gnarly bush vines of dry farmed Chenin Blanc that go into making this absolutely stellar example of Cape Chenin Blanc. Darling is fairly close to the coast, so it's getting influence off of the Southern Ocean and the Benguela Current that kind of works its way up the west coast of South Africa. That keeps this region relatively mild and moderate, and makes some really, really great Chenin Blanc. Let's smell. Just pardon me while I melt here on camera, and not from the heat, but when you open and taste this wine, you will have the same reaction that I just had, because it is like magic in a glass. It smells like fresh pears, golden delicious apple, quince paste, like raw honey, wet straw, grass, like a freshly baked croissant, with almond and a little honey glaze on it. There is an exceptional amount of complexity to the nose here that is to me at least, pretty notable in terms of South African Chenin. So I love South African Chenin. It's great. I've even featured a different one in the box a few years ago. This is a notch up in terms of the quality and the way that this kind of captures this piece of property and really captures Alex's passion for making this wine. Oh, my heart. Uh, so much texture, round, kind of creamy mouthfeel. All the grapes here are hand harvested, spontaneous fermentation, and then basket pressed for a really kind of gentle pressing cycle, so you're not pulling out bitterness from the grapes. It's then aged in large neutral oak with regular lees stirring for 3 months, and then an additional 6 months on the lees, the fine lees, just kind of allowing some of that oxygen to circulate within the wine and give all of this really beautiful texture and roundness to the wine. It's like peaches and cream. It's super soft. It's fresh without being like biting. It doesn't have the like cut and zest that some people like get from, especially like cooler, more linear, restrained versions of Chenin Blanc from South Africa or from the Loire Valley in France. They can have like a lot of acidity and that kind of tangy, tart, underripe white fruit, green apple, green pear. This is definitely kind of leans towards the riper, juicier side of things. Yeah, it like fills out your mouth and has this explosion of texture, and that time lee stirring and then aging in barrels really kind of helps to kind of build more of that texture and that weight. Bloody delicious, Alex. I've been a fan of this wine for as many years as it's been being made and coming into BC. So it's like just a real treat to share with everybody this month. If you are thinking about food here, that textural element and the kind of richness of the wine is really kind of important to the way that this wine is going to be used with food. You need something that has richness and has like a depth of flavor, but it doesn't necessarily need to be like super tangy or fresh or anything. You can do slightly richer things. So like satay, like peanut sauce, anything that kind of plays off of that nuttiness. This has a lot of the kind of quince, pear, apple fruit to it. Peanuts go really well when you play those things off of each other. So doing that would be delicious. You can take this wine to brunch. Like this is exactly the kind of wine that you can drink like in the middle of the day with like a big brunch spread. You're doing croque madame or something with like creamy bechamel and perfect fried egg on top, and you get like all of that richness and that kind of nuttiness of the cheese, and you can like have some fresh fruit on the side, and like this wine has enough of that fruity character that it's going to work, and it's going to work really, really well. And you're going to wish that you had a second bottle. I already wish I had a second bottle, and I haven't even drank this one yet. Glazed pork chop, like peach or pear or apple, like something kind of play off of that fruitiness and kind of richness of the wine. Just giving you guys all of the bangers this month. This is very, very pleasurable. I love hearing how much everybody enjoys the wines that they get in the box, and I also enjoy them. I get an opportunity to try everything and taste everything and experiment with food and wine and play with these wines in a way that I don't often get to with other wines, just because time commitments. You don't actually like sit down and like think and play through like what you're gonna do, how you're gonna cook, what you're gonna make. So this is like I said, a real treat for me as well. So thank you for watching. I hope that everybody enjoys the Axle Chenin Blanc from Natte. There may be some more boxes left after. We'll see. Who knows? But if you are particularly enthusiastic, let me know and I'll see what I can do. Thanks again. Enjoy the Axle. We'll see you guys next time.